All right, let's just dive right into this cozy winter explainer. Just picture the scene. It's late December, you're looking out the window at those snowy streets, the lights are twinkling, and you can literally feel that undeniable excitement of families decorating their trees. Millions of people around the world are gearing up for December 25th, pulling out their absolute favorite ugly sweaters and getting ready to celebrate the whole shebang.
But hey, here's a question for you. Where did Christmas actually come from? I mean, we all know about the presents, the peppermint hot chocolate, and that endless loop of holiday songs at the mall, but how did we actually get here? Let's take a trip from these modern, snowy celebrations all the way back in time, over 2 millennia to be exact, to a small, quiet stable in historical Bethlehem.
So at its absolute core, Christmas commemorates the birth of Jesus Christ. According to tradition, Jesus was born in Bethlehem, slightly over 2,000 years ago. But get this, the very first official, recorded celebration of Christmas on December 25th, it didn't actually happen until 336 AD. That's centuries later. And, actually, it wasn't even a universal date until 1582, when Pope Gregory XIII introduced the Gregorian calendar. That basically locked in December 25th for much of the world.
Now, you might be wondering, why December? Well, long before Christianity, people around the world were already enjoying midwinter festivals, like the ancient Roman festival of Saturnalia, for instance, just to celebrate the winter solstice and the coming of spring. Early Christians actually sort of blended their new celebrations with these existing pagan festivals. By aligning Jesus' birth with familiar winter feasts where folks were already exchanging gifts, it really helped the new religion gain acceptance. It's like this massive cultural mashup that we still feel today.
And speaking of cultural mashups, where did our favorite holiday traditions actually come from? Well, over time, different cultures just kept adding their own fun rituals to the mix. Like those evergreen branches, ancient Teutons and Celts used them to symbolize eternal life because they miraculously survived the freezing winter. And that mistletoe you awkwardly try to avoid standing under at parties? Yeah, that dates all the way back to ancient Druid rituals. Catchy Christmas carols, added to the mix in the 13th century, and dragging a whole live pine tree indoors, we literally have Germany to thank for that one.
You know, these regional quirks went totally mainstream thanks to history's original influencers, the royals. When Prince Albert married Queen Victoria in the 19th century, he brought that indoor German Christmas tree tradition right over to Britain. Suddenly, everybody wanted a tree in their parlor. Meanwhile, the English were already pretty well known for unselfconsciously kissing at Christmas time, so they naturally paired this ancient mistletoe plant with their holiday festivities. And bam, it cemented the beautifully awkward tradition we know today.
Okay, let's move on to the main character of the holidays. How exactly did we get from a religious saint to a guy flying around in the sky with reindeer? Well, it started with St. Nicholas. He was a real 4th century Greek bishop living in modern-day Turkey, and he was famous for secretly giving his wealth away to the poor. Centuries later, Dutch settlers brought his legend over to America in the 17th century. They called him Sinterklaas, which, you can probably guess, eventually morphed into the name we all know and love, Santa Claus.
But wait, the modern, jolly Santa that kids recognize today, complete with the sleigh and that magical reindeer-powered delivery system, that was actually crafted in New York in the 1800s. Writers like Washington Irving and cartoonists like Thomas Nast took the Dutch Sinterklaas and gave him a massive magical makeover. They essentially transformed a 4th century historical figure into the plump, bearded, red-suited gift giver of today. Kind of a wild rebrand, right?
Now, the crucial point here is that Christmas isn't just a one-size-fits-all holiday. It's celebrated in incredibly diverse ways globally. Down in Mexico, the real party is La Navidad on December 24th, packed with posadas, tamales, and opening presents right at midnight. Over in Ethiopia, because the Orthodox Church follows the older Julian calendar, they celebrate on January 7th with traditional white garments and a hockey-like game called Gina. And in Japan, it's this massive secular holiday where the traditional Christmas Eve dinner is actually a bucket of KFC fried chicken. Seriously, how cool is that?
But you know, underneath all this complex history, the merging of ancient Roman festivals, the evolving legends of Greek bishops, and these amazing global rituals, the heart of the holiday really does remain exactly the same. Whether you're eating tamales, grabbing some fried chicken, or carving a turkey, it's truly about creating warm family moments, sharing food with the people you love, and extending a helping hand to others.
Ultimately, Christmas is more than presents. It's about connection and joy. Whether you celebrate the profound religious meaning of the day or you just love the secular magic and the cozy aesthetics of the season, the true spirit is about coming together. It's just so fascinating how thousands of years of human history have built this incredible day. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a quick thought. Which ancient tradition will you add to your own family's story this year?